Okay, I am here with Dana Burke from the Burke team, who has recently helped her mother move into assisted living. And I want to talk to you a little about that, Dana. Tell me, what motivated you to start looking into assisted communities for your mother?
Well, her health was declining and her dementia was getting worse. But in addition to that, a lot of my friends are having to do the exact same thing. So instead of just looking for myself, I was looking at it from more of a, how do we help other people that are going through the same thing?
Okay. How did your journey begin?
My journey actually started when I was at a retreat for figuring out what we wanted to do for our one big thing for the next couple of years. And after all of the deep inner work, I decided that I wanted to help seniors in our communities because they're so abused in our community. And we don't treat our seniors with the respect they deserve, and they need to be taken care of. I mean, other cultures take care of their family members, and we're the only culture that doesn't.
Yeah, so you started out being an advocate, wanting to be an advocate for seniors?
Yes.
Excellent. When you started looking at assisted living communities, how did you know what to look for, what to ask?
Well, in the training that I just finished certifying on, they gave us a list of questions for one thing and a chart. So I started evaluating all the different communities with the same set of questions. But the other thing that ended up being more evident that I didn't realize was going to be evident was how much turnover are they having, because that wasn't one of the questions. And in several of the communities in their newsletter, they were talking about all the new people that they had just hired, but I looked at more than one of their newsletters, and they were having 10% turnover every month. And that was a huge number to me. And then one community had almost no turnover. And it wasn't the nicest, shiniest, brightest one, but they really care. And that's the one I chose.
Yeah. You know, you mentioned the training and stuff that you did. It seems to me like there's a lot to learn in this area. How long did all that take you?
The certification for the real estate planner took an entire year.
Oh, wow.
And I'm still learning.
Oh, wow. Okay, so are those like monthly classes, weekly classes?
They were weekly classes. There's 2 classes a week, one on Monday and one on Thursday, and homework in between.
Oh, wow. So a full year's worth of education.
Full year's worth of education.
Wow.
That doesn't count towards your CE credits.
Of course not.
But it's a good education.
Right? So tell me, back to your story with your mom, what factors and or amenities were important to you when you were out previewing and interviewing assisted living communities?
Well, they all have a schedule of things they do. And my mom kept saying none of them were fun, but she wouldn't go. And so it was, is there enough activities to get them out of the room so they aren't just sitting in their room all the time and bored? Because with dementia, the more activity they have, the better off they are. And Mom, 2 years ago, would not have gone and visited with anybody around her. And we went out to dinner with some friends the other day, and she started talking to the 3 tables next to us. And she would never have done that before.
Oh, that's great. That's great. So did you consider the long-term aspects of your mom's care and how those will change?
Yes, and it's really important because eventually she's going to run out of money. So almost all of the senior communities want you to pay for a minimum of 3 years before they'll take you on Medicare. So you have to make sure you're in there early enough that you can get through the 3 years before you run out of money, because once you go into the dementia care or the memory care, you're going to be paying 3 times the amount you pay in the regular care.
Okay. How much input did your mom have on the decision-making process? I imagine with her dementia, that added a layer of complexity to this for you.
It adds a lot of complexity because she couldn't remember the different communities. But she was there, and she either felt like she liked the place or she didn't when we were there. So we just kind of recorded her reaction afterwards via video so we could replay it for her so she could remember.
That's a great way to do it. Were there challenges in balancing like her preferences and your preferences? Maybe you felt something was better for her than she did, or what did that look like?
Well, I was trying to take her to one community, which I still think may have been better for her in the long run because she wouldn't have to switch communities when she goes into memory care. But they were treating her like a number, and they were just trying to push her into a room to get it filled. And I didn't like that feel. And when they have 300 rooms versus 50 rooms, what's the care going to be when she needs something? And that ended up being the deciding factor, was how much care was she going to get. She's going to need reminders until she gets into their habits and their routine. The routine's been great for her though, because it's better than, realtors work late a lot. So she has a very set schedule, and we know what that is, and we schedule her appointments around that.
Yeah. What about support systems? Do you have friends, family that were contributing in the decision-making process? What did that look like for you?
Well, my brother really didn't contribute much at all, but I have friends that have been going through this, and so I knew the level of care and the challenges that they were having. And I also have been networking with a lot of the senior communities for about 2.5 years now. So I have a lot of them that have gone from one community to another, and I can say, okay, which one would fit my mom the best? Your mom had dementia. Which one would fit you the best?
Yeah. What about professionals? Did you seek guidance from professionals? What did that look like?
Just the people I knew within the communities, and Mom's doctor was kind of suggesting we do something more, and I wasn't really getting the hint until Mom broke her shoulder during COVID. And then I really saw that she could carry on a conversation for an hour, but she couldn't carry on a conversation daily for more than 10 minutes.
Yeah. How is the assisted living community balancing providing care for your mother while also still allowing her independence?
Well, she has her own room, and she can come and go as she pleases. All we got to do is sign her out, and all of them have that, more for safety reasons than anything else. If they don't see her, they're going to go find her. She slept in one day, and they were looking for her by lunchtime because she wasn't around. They hadn't seen her all day. So what that enables is lets me go to work and not worry about her. Before, we were leaving her alone at home, and if we needed to go someplace, like the grandkids needed us to come visit and help them for a couple days and she didn't want to go, we were having friends come in and try and help Mom, and that wasn't really working very well. So now at least I sleep better at night. And what I didn't realize is I wasn't sleeping at night because I was worried that something would happen with Mom in the middle of the night. And once we put her in there, I think I slept for 3 weeks, like 12 hours a day.
Wow. So how has the move to the assisted living community impacted your relationship with your mother?
Well, first, she totally hated me.
Okay.
She was mad, and she didn't want to be there, and she was the one that said she needed to go there. So it was really hard in that regard. Just know if you put somebody in assisted living, they aren't going to like the change until they get used to it. And now, today, she goes, well, for an assisted living place, this isn't really a bad place. All the people really care, and the people that are here are really nice.
Yeah. How is she doing with the social interactions?
She doesn't spend nearly as much time in her room. Like, I tried calling the other day because I was going to come pick her up, and I had to go find her because she wasn't in her room. She, of course, didn't remember her cell phone.
Yeah.
But, for her, she's meeting people and talking to them. I don't think she can remember anybody's name, but she's happy.
Other than sleeping better, how has this decision affected your own life and your own well-being?
At first I really missed having her around, but she still comes over for dinner 2 to 3 nights a week, and we have her mostly on the weekends on top of that. So it really has made it possible on a day when I don't get home early, I don't feel guilty anymore.
Yeah. last question, what is the best piece of advice that you can give a family member that's looking into assisted living for a loved one?
Just make sure you take a lot of good notes. There's a lot of companies out there that can help you go through the process that I didn't know about before. But make sure it's close to where you live and close to where you work, or close to where you work, so that it's part of your daily routine instead of out of the way.
Yeah, perfect. Alrighty, well, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thanks.